Hi, my name is Sky Brugler, and today I'll be taking you through my senior inquiry project poster, Land Use Drivers of Nitrate Levels in Crow Creek Watershed, Tributary of the Mississippi River. Crow Creek Watershed is a tributary of the Mississippi River that stretches from Eldridge, Iowa into Davenport and Bettendorf. Using the Upper Mississippi 2018 and 2019 dataset, 2 hotspots of increased level of nitrates were identified in the watershed. And so the goal of this study and my senior inquiry project was to sample sites upstream of these hotspots to provide the city with information on the likely sources of nitrate and to provide guidance about the process of water quality improvement. Google Earth was initially used to determine collection sites. Sites were collected from October 17, 2020 and November 7, 2020, totaling 29 collection sites. Samples were analyzed for nitrate in an AQ300 Discrete Autoanalyzer using a colorimetric Cadmium Reduction method. This means that the samples were mixed with a pH buffer. Nitrate was reduced to nitrite as it was transferred to a copper-cadmium coil. The nitrite was then mixed with a colored reagent made from dilute phosphoric acid. This formed a diazonium compound from the reaction with sulfanilamide. The resulting species was then photometrically measured at 520 nanometers, providing information on the nitrate content of the stream. Figure 1 shows the nitrate concentrations in this watershed strongly correlates with surrounding land use. Looking at the box graph, you can see the mean nitrate concentration of streams surrounded by agriculture was higher than the mean nitrate concentration of streams surrounded by urban or mixed land use. Mixed meaning it had some aspects of both urban and agriculture. 2 outliers in this graph were identified in the agricultural and urban stream category. At first glance, a possible reason for these outliers may have been the dilution effect. This means results are slightly skewed because we were comparing small independent first-order streams to large third-order streams that may have many streams running into it. However, this was ruled out by Figure 2. Figure 2 shows that first-order, second-order, and third-order streams were not statistically significant from each other, meaning the dilution effect could not have skewed any of our results. Overall, Figure 3 emphasizes the results by showing a map of Crow Creek Watershed. The map depicts the gradient of high to low nitrate concentrations, high in agricultural areas and low in urban areas. Streams with less than 1.0 milligrams per liter are seen mostly in the urban sampling sites of Bettendorf. However, in the more agricultural area of Eldridge, the nitrate concentration is far higher, ranging between 2 milligrams per liter and 4 milligrams per liter nitrate concentrations. As previously stated, surrounding land use influences nitrate concentrations in surrounding streams that feed into the identified 2018 and 2019 hotspots. One of the 2 outliers that did not follow this trend was an urban site with an unusually high nitrate concentration labeled as Site 3. However, from Figure 3, you can see that this site is less than a mile directly downstream of significant amounts of agricultural land. Further, these 2 agricultural sites, measured directly upstream from Site 3, had similarly elevated levels of nitrate to this outlier. This not only explains the outlier, but demonstrates the effect agricultural runoff has further downstream. The second outlier was an agricultural stream site, C9, with 0 milligrams per liter of nitrates found. It is unclear why this site had such low measures of nitrate concentration. This may have been due to the protection of a large natural riparian buffer, but it is not supported by a trend in data from other sites with buffers. Still, Figure 2 shows that there was no statistical difference between the concentrations of nitrate at different stream orders in the watershed, so the results were not skewed by a simple dilution effect in the streams. Limitations included the ability to collect repeated data for each site either because of private property, no flow in the area at that time, or limited familiarity with underground city infrastructure. Regardless, the trend is consistent in our data set with the literature depicting agriculture as a primary contributor to nitrate. To improve the water quality in Crow Creek Watershed and the 2018-2019 identified hotspots, it's important to look at agricultural practices and suggest modifications where necessary. Changing the timing of fertilizer application to early spring instead of late fall can reduce the chances that winter erosion will carry away the nitrogen and allow more of it to be taken up by plants. Nitrogen leaching is a common occurrence because soil and nitrogen are both negatively charged particles. This means that soil does not actively hold onto the nitrogen applied to it, so application directly before or during planting will prevent it from moving out of the field due to rain, snow, or erosion. This is also why cover crop usage and reduced tillage is extremely important. They are management practices that help to hold on to the soil that has had nitrogen fertilizer applied to it and prevent erosion and leaking of this nitrogen into the environment. Besides agricultural practices, riparian buffers around streams are a great strategy to prevent significant amounts of nitrogen from getting into those streams. Buffers have been shown to increase in effectiveness as width increases. One study showed that 50%, 75%, and 90% of nitrogen removal in stream water surface flow occurred in buffers approximately 27 meters, 81 meters, and 131 meters wide, respectively. Narrow buffers can supplement their lack of width with other environmental factors to increase effectiveness. The literature suggests that while width is an important part of an effective buffer system, to be truly effective, it is important to consider soil type, hydrology, subsurface biogeochemistry, and especially type of vegetation. Herbaceous and forest plants such as coniferous and deciduous trees are found to be the most effective at reducing the amount of nitrogen loading into streams. Overall, the results of this project are in agreement with growing literature that implicates agriculture as a primary contributor to nitrogen loading in streams. Agricultural land use is associated with a decline in water quality and habitat. Streams draining agricultural lands are often documented as supporting fewer species than streams draining forested catchments. These streams are also often reported to increase remnants of insecticide, herbicide, and fertilizer runoff, which has a likely correlation to the decline in sensitive biota that is influenced by alterations to stream hydrology common in agricultural land usage. Thank you, and I hope you enjoyed this presentation.